Hey guys, it's Monday and welcome to a very special edition of Casey Rants called Casey Talks. So the reason I'm not calling this Casey Rants and I'm calling it Casey Talks is because I'm actually talking about something really serious and I don't want people to think I'm ranting on it. It's just something I wanted to talk about. As y'all know, tomorrow is the 11th anniversary of September 11th. It's still very close into our hearts, and even though it's been 11 years, it definitely seems like it hasn't been that long, but it has, and it doesn't matter how long it's been because I know they say time heals all wounds, but this is basically the one wound that I feel like you can't really heal. It took a toll not only on our country, but as us as people, and I think it's something that is really, really important to remember and, and talk about. Let's just jump right into it. A lot of people definitely remember where you are when it happens, and for me, I do. I was in 7th grade. It was 2001, obviously, and I was sitting in class, and the bell rang, and we were moving from I had class. I honestly, it was probably history or something. Some girl who lived down the street from me, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, you're never gonna guess what happened." And I said, "What happened?" And she's saying, "A plane flew into the Empire State Building." And I was like, "Wow, that's crazy." And obviously, she was mistaken. So we were going down to communication arts, and we went down there, and our teacher turned on the TV, and we watched the tower. It was smoking, and I was like, wait, that's not the Empire State Building, that's the Twin Towers. And as we were watching it, we saw the second plane hit, and I just remember feeling absolutely terrified because this wasn't an accident. This was something deliberate. And I remember my teacher being like, it's a terrorist. And I mean, the whole school was freaking out. We had no idea what to think. We didn't know if we were gonna have to go home early. What if parents were gonna have to pick up their kids. And I know by the time we left that class, we actually had watched the towers fall. So it was absolutely scary as a 12-year-old kid watching this unfold on your TV. And still at 23, I can still close my eyes and see it replaying. And it's something that I don't think you'll ever overcome. And it's something you're going to tell your kids. And it's just going to be generation to generation about where you were and what you were, where you were and what happened. And, I love being an American. There's nothing better than I feel in life. I am happy that I was born here. I'm proud to be an American. I love America. I think we're awesome. Obviously, we're not always the best at everything, but I think we do a lot of things right in my eyes. But I mean, it's a whole different opinion, and I know everyone has their other opinions, and that's fine. I like living here. If you don't want to live here, don't live here. That's my only suggestion. But as an American, this is something that affects me deeply because it was an act on my nation that I grew up in, that I was born, that I was raised to believe that this is wrong. And although other countries could think this was a good thing because we deserved it, so many innocent people were murdered that day. And I'm not saying killed, I'm saying murdered, because this was intentional. It wasn't an accident. It wasn't like somebody just got into a car accident and was killed. These people were murdered. Innocent people. Moms, dad, aunts, uncles, grandparents, sisters, brothers, husbands, wives, children, everyone. Someone probably, at least someone knew someone who lost someone around here. I know from my town alone, I believe there was at least 5 people that were killed in the World Trade Center. And I mean, and it wasn't even just civilians and people on the planes. It was police officers and firefighters and EMT workers, just innocent people who were trying to do the right thing by saving lives that were murdered by an act of terrorism. And it just, it makes you think. If anything, it definitely makes you think about life and how short it actually is, because those people woke up and got on a plane or, went to work not thinking that that was gonna be their last day, that someone was going to run a plane into a tower or a field or the Pentagon. It's horrible. And I think as a country, it brought us closer together, and really we saw the effects that people can have on our country. And not that we grew from it, but we did in a way. We definitely figured things out, and not saying it can't ever happen again. I'm just saying that as a country, we definitely grew from it, and if anything, it probably made a lot of people like myself not take anything for granted. And of course, you're always going to be scared of getting on a plane. What if? But it's like that chance in life that you have to take at this point. But, I think it's important that we definitely tell our children and their children and their children about what happened, because if you don't write it down and you don't do anything to prevent it, history repeats itself. And this is something that no one would ever want to repeat. I mean, there's enough tragedies in the world that this is one of those things you definitely don't want to repeat. I personally like to thank officers anytime, even when I get a ticket. I'm like, thank you, officer, have a great day. Not thanking them for giving me a ticket, but he's putting his life on the line for us. And even soldiers, if I see a soldier, I smile and I nod to them. And sometimes if they do something, I'll tell them thank you, because I don't think we do that enough. We don't thank the people who are courageous enough that they're serving our country. And I thank my dad too, because I remember when September 11th happened, he was saying that if they needed more people, he was going to go up there and help sort through the rubble and whatnot. And I remember being so sad that he might be going, but I was, I understood, because that's what his job is. So just make sure when you see like a veteran or a soldier or a fireman or a policeman or EMT worker, you thank them, because if anything that September 11th should teach us is to be grateful for those people, because those are the people who keep us safe, including the soldiers who go over and sometimes never come back. Even though it's been 11 years, I do believe that there's those people out there that are still suffering, and I feel so bad for them. There's children that don't even know their parents because they were killed in September 11th, and there was babies born, and you feel so bad for them, and the widows, and anyone, and it's just something that I don't think you'll ever get over in life. And it's just that thing that you'll remember. It's kind of like our generation of where were you when Kennedy was shot? So I brought my brother into my KC rants because he walked in the room, and I was thinking, so my rant is actually called KCTALKS today, and I'm talking about September 11th. So you're how old? Tell everyone.
16.
So what grade were you in when September 11th happened?
I was in kindergarten.
Do you remember it happening? Slightly. What do you remember? Like, what do you remember how you were told or how you found out about it?
No one told me. I didn't know until, like, I was old enough to comprehend it. Mm-hmm. But I do remember people freaking out.
Do you remember hearing about it in school, or?
Yeah, that's probably where I heard about it, in school. Just as soon as I could understand what was going on, what happened.
Mm-hmm. How old were you when it happened? 5?
5, yeah.
Yeah. See, so it's really important to talk about it, because, like, my brother, he was only 5 when it happened. Now he's 16.
Yeah, because we're probably, like, the last generation that remembers it. Like, we're the youngest generation that can remember it.
Yeah, so anyone who's basically 16 or 15...
Not even 15.
Maybe 15, maybe a little bit, I don't know. But they're really, like, the generations that have a little bit of remembrance about it, like, about it happening, but not as much as you said. You knew something happened, but it wasn't, you couldn't comprehend it until you were maybe, like, a little bit older, or until you got home. I think it's definitely important to keep talking about it, and just remember 9/11, and thank the people every day that keep your country safe and who do things for you. I don't even know what else to say. Bye.